So yes, our boy Luke Belmar has responded to the recent controversy, hate, whatever you would call it, okay? Him being exposed on Twitter. And yeah, I want to give him a fair shake, okay? I've said this in the past, and I will reiterate it, okay? I don't actually view Luke Belmar as an idiot, okay? I actually think he is definitely a very talented opportunist, okay? I always make sure to, make that clear because, I do think to a degree the guy's legit. It's just that, yes, very clearly, he is good at identifying opportunity. But then the other big thing is the guy does have impressive awareness, let's just put it like that, okay? And I've been listening to some of his past podcasts again for like a second time recently, and I was reminded of like, oh yeah, okay, I remember now why this guy was so interesting to me. And before I get into all that, let us just see his response. Once again, basically what happened is, I'm not going to cap. Like, what basically happened is that Luke Belmar got doxxed, okay? Apparently, Belmar is only, like, one of the last names that he's used before. It still belongs to his parents. It's just, like, whatever. Long story short, I didn't even care, really, about the whole doxing thing, whatever. The only really interesting things to come out of it were basically accusations that, Luke's family were relatively affluent, that they basically, there was ties that they somehow, like, uncles of his had somehow owned a school, something like that. And basically, accusations that his dad was like an entrepreneur. There's basically money in the household. So when he tells stories about how he only had $200 in a briefcase and he had to, get a free flight from his uncle, who's a pilot, to land in America with only that 200 bones and like no backup, whatever. Basically, it's people were just saying that's just cap, bro. You know what I mean? And beyond that, there's some other details, just doesn't really matter in my mind, but like minor things he was whatever lying about or obfuscating. It's not that deep in my head. So I will now go to see Luke Belmar's recent post, and it is starting with him saying right here, wait up. A few days ago, a Twitter thread was posted about me. I was traveling and just got home. I wanted to address them directly and share my side. So here are pictures of Luke working at a restaurant. This was obviously like claims were made effectively that, he wasn't really like a brokey or whatever. Though even in the video, doxing or exposing him, whatever, they outlined like, yes, he did work as a diner. You know what I mean? Like as a waiter or whatever, right? He had that on his resume. But anyway, this thread is just a response to the tweets about me. In the future, I'll share more stories from my childhood, places I've lived or visited, learnings, and also more of the work I do. Name, the last name Belmar belongs to my father. Uria and Theus, which we're probably going to censor, are my last name because my grandparents, Grandpa Uria, left when my dad was 8, so we never use his name. Belmar is our family name. Old Twitter from a decade ago, Lucas Belmar, shows I use the same name since forever. Hey, that's our boy Luke. What the fuck? Bruh. Yo, the Adidas drip though. Sheesh. In Latin America, it's normal to adopt both mom and dad last name. My family also follows this practice. I've used both names in the past. When my grandpa Theus, mom's side, passed away, I chose to use my father's name Belmar. In grandfather's obituary, my parents go by Belmar. Okay, fair enough. Whatever. I often mention I went to college. My first 2 years were funded by scholarships and jobs. I used student loans for the rest. I eventually left due to the high costs and did some online classes while working full-time before dropping out.
So at the age of 16, with $200 and a suitcase, I made my way to the US. I won't even get into the details, bother people. But I worked in kitchens, washed dishes, served tables, did door-to-door sales. Went to university.
Did you really do door-to-door sales, Luke? Interesting, bro. I did too.
Dropped out of university, worked a traditional job, dropped out of a traditional job, and eventually an opportunity came to me back in 2016.
Look at the school system, you see how people operate, and you realize that something isn't clicking.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, you just forge your own path.
100%.
So yeah, I came to America at the age of 16, started pressure washing basketball.
What? 16? Holy fuck, man. 16? You went alone to America? Really?
Course, cleaning toilets, and working in kitchens.
Were you alone?
Yeah, I was alone.
Okay.
I was alone. Had $200, but it was worth it.
My mindset was a very straightforward mindset. My mindset was that of going to university, going to college, because that's what I knew, right? That is when you come from a different country, that's what you know. Nobody thinks what's next, right? Nobody thinks about their careers. Nobody thinks about anything. It's just, how do I get to university? So I get to university, I drop out because I was, and the reason I knew it was bullshit, I get to my,
He's gonna say that his teachers, basically they don't know what they're talking about. I'm pretty sure he's gonna say that one of the teachers was an international business teacher, but they had never been abroad. Another one was like a communications teacher, but they can barely talk, something like that, right?
International business class, and this dork starts talking, this moron starts talking. He has like his hair split to the side.
So Luke, I feel like the reason that he got so much like heat or whatever, like the reason that it's like kind of an own that people are like whatever exposing, is probably because when he blasted onto the scene, especially at the time when Sneako was popping off and Luke was like kind of trying to ride that wave, he gave this super fucking arrogant front-facing persona. And that's basically what I made fun of as well, like in my Sneako video. I didn't really expose him. I just made him look like an idiot, which wasn't that hard. But yeah.
I'm like, bro, this guy cannot be an international business entrepreneur. Like, this makes zero fucking sense. So at the end of the first class, he's talking about like macroeconomics or some shit. And I go to him and I ask him one simple question. I said, how many countries have you been to? He's like, well, I never left the US, but I've done. I'm like, oh, I literally went to the the office where you get all your classes changed and that shit. I said, drop.
All right. So that's him. Yeah, because one of the claims I believe is, yeah, in the docs video, whatever, there's an illusion of like Luke was in college while he was doing these jobs. I don't think that this is necessarily incongruent, but whatever. Like, yeah, I mean, Luke Belmar, I never interpreted it as like he didn't go to college. It was just like, yeah, he tells people not to go to college, right? Anyway, next on to the claim that I was born into a rich family. This is far from true. My grandma had a bakery, and my other grandparents did nonprofit work and built schools in Brazil with donations. My family, though incredible, was not wealthy or rich, and no, they didn't own a college. Okay, and so then here's, I guess, the last thing. A decade ago, I wasn't thinking about content, so I didn't film my come up on a plane. He's basically saying I have no proof, that I got like a free ride on a plane thanks to my uncle or whatever. My uncle, who is still a pilot, got me a standby ticket, and I got my jump seat flight to the US. My uncle and other relatives aren't on social media. That's why they aren't online. Okay, we'll listen to what he has to say.
Fact, definitely had a lot of inaccuracies. So I wanted to I was traveling, and due to the fact that I was traveling, I obviously was handling that. But I just got back home, took the time to sit down and evaluate what was being said about me. And first of all, I realized nobody knows my story better than me. Nobody. You can't pull a couple photos off of the internet and construct an entire story of my life. Just doesn't work that way. Now, at the beginning, I didn't take it so seriously. And the reason I didn't take it seriously was simply because I usually don't pay attention to that type of commentary, or to people kind of making
Hey, that's me, man. I'm a commentator, bro.
speculations about me. But it got to the point where it went from speculation to just a little bit of noise. And I didn't like it. And the reason I don't like it is because I like to keep certain parts of my life private, such.
Yeah, I mean, this is fair enough. Like, that's kind of what I identified while I was reacting to it. It's like, you don't need to put pictures of this guy's family, like, bro. But anyway.
Just, underage people inside of my family circle that I don't care to dox. Since I don't care to dox them, I don't care to talk about them. And that's just simply my choice. What I came to realize was, one is I'm a little bit more popular than I assumed. I assumed I wasn't that popular, but I guess people know me out there. Now
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm probably one of the only commentators who's paying attention to you, bro. But there's relatively specific reasons for that.
the question is, what do people know me for? So I was reviewing my content, And man, I'll tell you, I say some crazy shit. But at the end of the day, I was reviewing my content.
guy,
and I'll
man.
probably post about it. You guys can tell me what you guys think later. If I should post a Twitter thread about it, responding, or if I should not give it the time of day. And I was going through my old photos when I was working in restaurants or when I was pressure washing basketball courts. There's this thread and it said that I never went to university. I'm like, well, let me go back to my content. Let me go back to see what I said. And in fact, in multiple videos, multiple times, I've said that I'd been to university, but then I dropped out.
Right.
How would I talk about university in the first place? Or how do I talk about this international business professor that gets grilled on the internet if I never went to university? I didn't have an international business class in high school, right? But anyways, now I've been told that I come from a wealthy family. Now, this is the first time that I've heard about this because I definitely didn't grow up in one. My parents worked in nonprofit organizations their entire lives. Incredible parents, incredible people, phenomenal morals, stand-up individuals, but I don't come from money. Next, I heard that somehow my grandparents and my family owns a university. Out of nowhere, they own a university.
I think the claim was that they helped found a university, but yeah, whatever, who cares?
When in fact, my grandparents were nonprofit workers that were building schools, building churches in Brazil. So it makes no sense. And on the other side of my family, my grandmother.
Didn't you attend one of the schools or whatever? What the fuck was it called? I don't care enough, but it was like, yeah, I just don't care enough. But it was called something. Fuck, School of Life? No, fuck, I forget.
Owned a bakery. Now, when people talk about my name of birth or when they talk about the name that I associate with, the name Belmar is actually my dad's last name. Now, it's the last name of my dad from the mother's maiden name, not from my grandfather, because my grandfather's last name, Uriah, well, I don't use it. And the reason I don't use it, it's a very simple reason. It's because my grandfather actually left my family, left my dad when he was the age of 8, and abandoned my family. So my dad grew up without a father, and I just simply decided to never really use that last name because I never met the man, right? So once I heard, unfortunately, that both of my grandfathers passed away, I just decided to use my dad's name. But anyways, that's the story about my last name. It isn't a big deal. I just decided certain parts of my life keep private. There isn't really an issue with that whatsoever. Now, finally, that I come from a rich family. I might post a thread about this of us waiting tables or, me pressure washing basketball courts. I didn't think I was going to be doing content, guys. I'll tell you, I did not think I was going to be doing content on the internet when I'm 29 years old. So did I record myself sitting in a jump seat on a plane from Argentina to the US? No, I didn't record it, but you don't have to believe it either, right?
Yeah,
It's not a big deal. It doesn't.
It really doesn't matter. But I understand. It's like, well, if this guy's a fucking liar, then you can't really trust him, right? But it's like, yeah, I mean, facts first of all. But the second thing though is like, who gives a fuck? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like when I heard the story, it sounded kind of capish, But like for sure, he's fucking kind of the way that he like would lean into it. I'm confident to think he embellished it or whatever you would say. But at the end of the day, it's like whatever.
Make a difference. Now you can believe it to be true. You can believe it to be false. I'm not here to convince you. But what I do have is photos and stories and people that have been part of my come up, from working at restaurants, having $0 to my name, Nate being overweight, suicidal. What are you going to say that that's not true? Off of what? I'll just post some Twitter photos with some befores and some afters of Nate's physique, and it'll be done.
Okay. Nate was definitely overweight and depressed. He had no confidence, but fitness changed his life. It's essential to respect mental health issues and understand that not everyone shares their struggles publicly. Okay, here's the one problem I'll say is that there was weird implications. I might have misinterpreted, but there was weird implications when you guys were at Andrew Tate's, mansion or whatever, the Tate Bros mansion, that his transformation from fat to fucking Giga Chad was like 6 months time horizon. Which is just cap, right? Like unless the guy's on just fucking like crazy on trend, it sounds like cap. But I guess if he's like skinny fat, what are you telling me this is 6 months? Like there's no shot, right? Like I mean, that might be on Nate if he's lying. I just don't care really. Like, okay, he's skinny fat. Yeah, fair enough. Whatever. Growing up, my parents' income was mostly donations from churches, and they worked in crazy places like Cuba. Crazy places like Cuba. That's funny. My parents did missionary work and had some side work. They always took great care of us. Great parenting, but no, we were not rich. They moved to America 3 years after I did. Interesting. Okay, interesting. That makes a lot of sense.
Y después se vienen a preocupar de la vida de otro tipo que ni conocen. ¿Qué querés que te diga? Yo me sorprendo, la verdad me sorprendo con el tiempo que tiene la gente.
What a fucking delicate... Dude, holy shit, what a delicate accent he's got. Damn, bro.
Para quejarse de uno que viene a las redes sociales a ayudar a la gente.
Dude, that's fucking cool. Late night shifts, service jobs, and many failed businesses to learn from. My story is of someone who went from working in a kitchen to working for themselves. I never thought I'd make content, so I didn't YouTube the journey, but definitely collected a few moments along the way. That's his brother. That's some girl telling him to text him. This is him lying on a beach. Okay, this doesn't tell me a ton, really, but yeah, fair enough. You guys worked at the diner. That was like a known thing. You know what I mean? Like the diner thing was not up for debate. The big claim was just that the Jeff Bezos comment was cap, right? I'm not perfect. I have business disputes, speeding tickets, payroll deadlines, legalities, taxes, insurance, and bills like everyone else. Business disputes. I think he's referring to Divine Anarchy. Cool name for an NFT project, but yeah, like the vibe that I get from that is, I mean, it's dead, right? Like it's completely dead in the water, and it does seem like Luke sold it at an opportune time, I guess. But whatever. My name. Sorry. That might be worth looking more into. I don't know if there's fucking bodies there, but whatever. My main purpose for privacy was to keep underage family members safe and offline. Sometimes I get threats or people extorting for money, and unfortunately, you never know who you're dealing with online. But I don't mind addressing any questions to my people. This is a random extortion thing. Not sure what y'all's problem is. Give me 150K before I expose your ass. Okay. My team informed me that all this came from 17-year-old internet guys who focus on others and automatically attribute bad intention to what people do. The claims suggested in that Twitter thread are very misleading, but I'll do my best to address everything that needs clarification. Okay, I hope this clears up any misconceptions. We live in a time where hateful comments and negative ideas can easily spread online, but we choose to rise above it. My goal is simple, and it's to help people and build a huge online community that wants to level up together. Yeah, okay, I mean, the fuck, like, pretty fucking typical kind of PR type statement, whatever, fair enough. He's, like, does he fully dispute really what's claimed? No. Did what was claimed like even really matter? Not really in my mind. But yeah, whatever. There it is. Luke Belmar's response. Now, an interesting thing I guess it might be worth noting is Sneako's response to this. He's basically kind of semi vouched or worked to defend Belmar. Which is kind of respectable. Sneako, though, like a couple months ago, or maybe it was like 6 months ago, something like that. Sneako was like shitting on Belmar. Not really, but like kind of. Like he was kind of calling him corny or whatever you'd say. Maybe I can find the clips of that, but I don't think it matters that much. But yes, in this controversy, Sneako has kind of said like, bruh, Luke Belmar, he fixed my brokey mindset. And that's certainly, the way I portray it in the Sneako video, basically. Luke Belmar was like the first guy that was like whispering in Sneako's ear, buddy, you got to become a fucking millionaire. What are you doing? Jump on the wave, Sneako. So yeah, Luke Belmar is definitely the one who fucking, you know, rev the fucking gas into Sneako's ass. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Sneako talks about how Luke Belmar changed his life. Whoa.
Luke Belmar individually helped rewire my brain from like being a broke guy in New York to developing a millionaire mindset. I flew to Puerto Rico and I spent a couple of days with him. I was streaming in his house, no, in his rental house, whatever. And I had some of the like goated streams back then. It was like 4 days in a row. I was on.
Bro, that was when, oh my god, he's saying goated. Those were some of the fucking, like, most actual fucking reckless crackhead streams, man.
I was on fire back then, nonstop.
I was on fire. That was when he did the Chad shit, man.
And while I was there, I don't know if you remember, but I was on the beach one time and like
yeah, fuck, I've seen this video so many fucking times.
he was bringing me around like expensive, like millionaire places. He's like, yeah, you know COVID? You know how you were locked inside?
It's so crazy watching this shit because it's like, man, I've fucking seen this too many times.
Like a bot. All these millionaires and billionaires were chilling at the beach maskless. And he helped instill this idea of a millionaire mindset, where to become a millionaire, to go from broke to becoming a millionaire, it first starts with believing you're a millionaire. For you to get to that point, you can't.
I love the way that they make this like so motivational. Fuck, man. W Sneako, man, he's vouching for.
Think like in terms of you can't be used to the paycheck of $2,000 to $10,000 a month. You get used to that coming in and you kind of get complacent with it. This is how much I deserve. Once you start believing that I can conquer the world, I can get all the properties that I see around you. I can make.
All right. Like what? Do I need more
Businesses. I can become self.
I think I'm good. What was his name? Sonny. Yeah. This is interesting too. So Sonny Faz, another guy's on my radar. Just through Sneako. He has potential, but like, you know, he's kind of mid in a way, like his content, but he has potential for sure. I understand why Sneako keeps him around. But yeah, Sonny Faz claims basically like, okay, basically they say what I say, which is like, this isn't hugely consequential. Like we kind of already could tell, like it seemed kind of obvious a little bit that Luke Belmar was a little bit capping. And then Sonny Faz basically says like, bro, there's like worse dirt on this fucking guy. Like,
and anybody trying to expose him is just stupid. I mean, I looked through it. It's like, what, he used an alias name, allegedly?
Yeah, I don't think it's that fucking deep. Like, the
Like,
expose, it really wasn't that deep from what I saw. I know more shit that they could have said and they didn't, personally. But it's also like, yeah, who cares, bro? Who cares? I mean, I figured he was lying about being fat, because no one that's fat and then loses weight doesn't post pictures about it. I mean, bro, like, Nate Belmar, like, come on, bro. Like, it's almost June.
I don't know what that's some kind of fucking inside joke probably, but yeah, okay. So basically they're saying like, yeah, Nate Belmar was not fat. It's like, who gives a fuck? Whatever, man. Let them embellish their little stories, bro. But yeah, this leads me to kind of I guess talking about my experience actually listening to Luke Belmar, okay? Because holy fuck. Okay, brace yourself. This is going to sound like glazing. Maybe it is, but even while I was editing the Sneako video, I understood that Luke Belmar is actually most likely the smartest, unironically, the smartest guy in these, you know, red pill finance bro circles, okay? There's a lot of coherence to a lot of the things that he says. Now, there's definitely shit he borders on complete fucking lunatic, conspiracy, whatever, but there's a lot of coherence to be had, okay? And so Luke Belmar is interesting because he provides truly a Marxist analysis of the economy. Like, it's eerie. When I'm listening to this guy, I'm like, what? This is such rare like language to be invoking as a dude whose obsession is effectively, you know, making money, or at least was. Whatever the fuck he's doing now, I don't care. But the point is, I heard this fucking guy mention techno-feudalism. Techno-fucking-feudalism. And for those who don't know, the concept of techno-feudalism, bro, it's honestly spooky. It spooks me when I listen to some of what Belmar has been saying, and I'm like, holy fuck, I didn't realize how on a similar wave me and him were. And so, you know, you can take this as me fucking just being a schizo, like, what the fuck are you talking about, Goka? But yeah, techno-feudalism is pretty fucking real. It's Yanis Varoufakis, basically Greek fucking goated individual, okay? Economist, whatever you would say. But techno-feudalism is basically the idea that we are now exiting capitalism, okay? And entering a new age where these big tech companies are actually becoming feudal lords. And for any of you who have stuck around for my rants about YouTube, okay, especially when I was talking to Turkey Tom or Nerd City yesterday, I have been describing this exact phenomenon. I'm aware of techno-feudalism, and that's what it is. And I acknowledge as a YouTuber that YouTube is not my employer. They're my fucking god, right? Not god, but king, okay? They're my king. They're the king of this entire dominion of independent content, okay? Almost a monopoly on it, which is wild. And as a result, what does that make me if YouTube's the king? It makes me a fucking serf, okay? It makes me a serf. It means that YouTube makes the rules, enforces the rules, and pays me, all right? They're my boss, and they're my government, all right? And so techno-feudalism, the idea basically is, the concept is essentially that these big tech companies, they understand the importance of one thing: fostering an ecosystem, okay? And it's so wild because I've been talking about this shit for fucking almost 2 years now. It did fuck with, dude, like I had a moment, I'm not gonna cap, I had a moment where I was listening to a fucking Belmar podcast, whatever, and I was like, whoa. I got a flashbang when he said techno-feudalism. I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? What's this guy? Who's this guy listening to, bro? But I'll show you my segment on it. But the point is that these big tech companies, they want to create an ecosystem, essentially, where no matter what happens, they win, okay? So as a YouTuber, when I upload a YouTube video, I'm maybe competing with other YouTubers. I'm maybe competing, with whomever, companies, institutions, whatever. But at the end of the day, YouTube wins, right? It's like, picture like Facebook Marketplace. Like the whole Facebook ecosystem is fucking wild. It's insane. Amazon has their own ecosystem, right? And it's like Audible, Amazon Prime, all this shit. These are ecosystems that these companies are creating because basically it allows them not only to diversify, but it allows them to just strictly funnel people into their ecosystem. And once they're in that ecosystem, they are pretty safe to just milk them almost, conceptually to eternity. You know what I mean? And so I will kind of show you the way that I touched on that in my real problem with YouTube video about a year and a half, give or take, ago. But yeah, this was an interesting video. I might have to make a part 2 to this video because I've been learning a lot about how YouTube operates. And yeah, this is shit I would be very interested in talking to Mr. Belmar about. But let's see. I'm basically talking about how YouTube has incentivized toothless commentary, which basically means YouTube encourages commentary content that does not talk about any real world issues, okay? They want you to talk about people, not to them, okay? Because that's, harassment. But also, effectively, they want to incentivize harmless content, okay? And this is just facts in my mind. You can't convince me otherwise, really. But I could get much more cynical nowadays, bro. Because since I made this video, I've learned so much. I genuinely view myself, you guys can think I'm a fucking idiot, or you can tell me if I'm losing my mind, but I genuinely view myself as unironically a YouTube scholar, okay? Like in how they operate. It's, I literally feel like I am one of the best educated people on how they actually enforce their rules. And again, it's a pure product of just seeing people get punished, including myself, many times, right? But anyway. Something that is, in my opinion, also fucking discouraged TV in this scenario directly. And he's giving harsh criticism, and he's also making it entertaining. Something that is, in my opinion, also fucking discouraged heavily. Even light, kind of like poking fun at somebody. If it's a direct, like, targeted video, it's just seen as offensive. It's seen as, like, intolerable. And it's just sad because that has led to the proliferation of just a fuck ton of criticism content that is not targeted. It's just talking about someone, not to someone. You know what I mean? And to me, for me, I mean, I'm sure it varies drastically among people, but for me, a video that is speaking to somebody has a lot more punch, is a lot more entertaining, and a lot more effective than a video talking about somebody. You know what I mean? But no, that's controversy. That's ugly. That's hostility. That's fostering, a negative ecosystem or whatever. So that's not allowed. And while we're at it, let's get rid of the dislikes too. Because God forbid one of our prize creators gets their feelings hurt. God forbid one of our high budget advertisements get dislike bombed. God forbid somebody looking for a tutorial be able to tell right away if a video is just full of shit. No, that was not a user-friendly decision. Facts. Yeah, facts. They did not remove dislikes to please creators, nor to fucking help the consumers. Okay. In my opinion, it wasn't even a content creator friendly decision. It was just a decision decided completely undemocratically. And they know this. They knew, again, it was going to be unpopular.
We knew that it was going to be controversial. We know it's going to be tough, but we just power through it.
They just didn't care. As much as they knew it would be unpopular, they also knew that we can't fucking do anything about it. We have no say at the end of the day. And with every fresh controversy, fresh, crowd of people that gets pissed off, the amount that outrage affects them becomes less and less and less. Same like Trump, right? Like controversy every fucking day. And eventually, that's the status quo. Everyone just expects everything to be fucked. So you can get away with whatever you want. It's not that complicated, really. It's pretty fucking smart because at the end of the day, they're right. We can't do anything. And they know that. Yeah, just go on a guy you're paying $$, podcast. Yeah, that's it. I don't know how much he's paid. And have him grill you about it, yeah.
We have to do what is the right thing for the ecosystem as a whole. And running the platform, we have access to data that individual creators may not have, meaning that we are looking at all the statistics of how the overall platform is performing and using. And we're not just running one experiment, we're running many experiments, and we're actually running it over a period of time. And so something like dislikes, we ran many experiments on that.
What a fucking joke. What a fucking joke. But yeah, they're more focused on those like macro, large picture, how can we raise revenue type decisions, and all of the stuff that affects content creators directly, of which there's so much that viewers would never see. Like things I have to fucking deal with that are just the most annoying things fucking ever. And they will never fucking be addressed because there's no reason for them to address them. There's no reason or incentive for them to make the lives of content creators actually fucking easier. Because there's an endless supply of content. We are all, as content creators, all of us, we are all completely replaceable. If any of us cease to exist, that vacuum would be instantly filled. Okay, it's completely dog eat dog. I'm very much black-pilled on. That's why we get fucking scam ads. That's why we get advertisements that are just dog shit. Or we even get ads that break the community guidelines half the fucking time. It's because they don't care if you're paying. They don't care about the consumer potentially clicking on an ad that will rob them of their savings. No, they care about maximizing the AdSense. So, of course, they're going to promote content that's fully fucking monetized, juice to the tits with the most fucking high RPM ads, and yeah, all the other high effort but potentially controversial or perhaps not widely appealing content gets effectively hidden from the vast majority of people. Unless you're looking for it or you're very much into a certain niche, you'll never find it. That's the algorithm at work. I'm not even complaining about it really. I'm just trying to state the truth. I'm trying to face the reality. Face the real. And, it's kind of funny because ideally what they want is for you to just keep swallowing blue pills. Like, don't think about this. Don't even look at that. Don't. Bro, how ahead of my fucking time was I? Holy. Stress about this. It's just mindless. And nothing to me. What did that say? It said, Don't stress about this. It's just mindless. Mindless content keeps you watching. Man, what a scuffed edit. And nothing to me. That's facts though, man. That's facts. Like background music-ass content. Like, I mean, this might be what my streams are for you. That's actually okay. Because I wish that I went into, in my video about Mumkey's ban. Yeah, this is where I get into the techno-feudalism bit. Okay, here we go. But YouTube's goal, right, and the vast majority of tech giants, their goal is to create a fucking marketplace on their website. You know what I mean? An ecosystem, foster an ecosystem where people are like competing within their platform. So this dynamic leaves the producers of content with zero leverage, zero incentive for Google to improve our work conditions unless it directly benefits them. That is just, my friends, facts. Either way, they still benefit. You know what I mean? So as long as you and I, content creator, are fighting dog-eat-dog style to the death for the attention of viewers, they still fucking win. It doesn't matter who succeeds as long as you can put some fucking ads on their videos. Yeah, fuck. Pretty good video, pretty fun stuff. Because yeah, man, it was so easy to get black. It's still so easy to get blackpilled on this platform if you're actually trying to talk about serious shit, man. But yeah, you know, I said it here. At the end of the day, the content is all we can control. Boom. No victim mindset here. Fuck them. Fuck them all. We're all gonna make it, baby. We're all fucking gonna make it. Even if that's delusional. I embrace the fucking delusion. This is the important thing of my fucking philosophy. You want to face the mirror. You want to accept the real, okay? You want to see yourself as you are, okay? Reflect what you are, whether you are reflected in others or in the literal mirror. Accept what is. Feel the fucking weight of that. The sadness of that, potentially. But reach for the stars in spite of it. Achieve your potential in spite of the odds. Fuck them all. Fans of Time hoodie. This looks sick. Is available right now. Gokamerch.com. We got Eternal Beauty right here.
Shut up, Gokanaru. The real thing you should be advertising is our brand new Hubert NPCs. Did you enjoy the Sneako video? Do you desire the love and companionship that comes with owning a Hubert of your own? Well, then you should head to Gokamerch.com and sign up for the email list. It's easy. Just take a look at one of our satisfied customers.
You open it.
Oh! Oh! That's hard. A little bite!
Wow, look at that smile. Making a friend has never been easier with our new Hubert NPCs. Sign up to the Gokamerch.com email list today so that you'll be the first to be notified when Huberts go on sale. Only a limited quantity will be sold.
So sign up.
Puerto Rico,